Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 371. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsap.
I want your fear.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Can't do the Batman voice. He's got auto-tune on.
Yeah, he does auto-tune it. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 371. Apologize for last week. We didn't get our Black Friday deals in front of you like we were hoping to. We had some personal issues. We couldn't get that podcast going. I'm going to apologize now because as I'm talking, I have a cold, and it is getting worse as I'm talking to you all. So I'm going to try not to sniffle, and I'm going to try to talk. But let's go into the box office and talk about the second week numbers first of Justice League and whatever opened this whole week, which was Coco, and there was some good stuff. I don't even have it opened at this moment.
Big deal.
Coco is a big deal. Bringing
Huge in Mexico.
I bet. I mean, it was... bringing in $50.9 million at number one, knocking off Justice League, was Coco. Justice League at number two at 41.1, which was a 57% drop, which is better than any other DC movie. Mike, I'll give you that one. There you go. Wonder at 3, which did $22.8 million, which is a very good second week for that movie.
Just crazy. That movie came out of nowhere. Its first week was big too. I don't think anyone expected this to do that well. Maybe
they thought it was a Wonder Woman movie and was like, oh, Wonder.
Who knows?
I mean, yeah, that's excellent. Thor Ragnarok at number 4, still bringing in almost $17 million, and Daddy's Home at number 5, tied with Murder on the Orient Express. Very good box office weekend, even though there was a drop-off.
The last two, actually. The Justice League's first week was real crowded, too.
Was it crowded?
Yeah, it had Wonder and Orient, and it was big then, too. Everyone did big numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
All
it did open...
considered.
I mean,
that's Thor was out, too. So.
Thor was only in its second or third week. No, third week then.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you're right.
I don't even know what Wonder is. What is Wonder?
It's about...
I wonder.
That kid.
Do you wonder, Corey?
It's Owen Wilson has a kid who's like disfigured, and there's just like, be nice to this kid.
He wears his helmet.
It's like that Moon, that Cher movie.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But, so that's your box office. Opening this week is anything? Nothing. No, we're quiet now.
I think everything is now hiding until Star Wars comes.
Well, everything will hide after Star Wars, too.
So how much did Justice League do opening weekend, Jim?
$94 million. 94 point...
Wow.
I mean, it's under Wonder Woman. Lowest of the DC movies of the recent, right? What did Suicide Squad do?
Suicide Squad was huge.
Way
more. Yeah, Suicide was like
120 something, I think.
130.
I know this is the lowest. It's actually not past Man of Steel's 10-day haul.
I mean, Harley Quinn, bigger draw than Batman.
Yeah. Bigger draw than the Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it opened very
Smith's
weak.
Back.
Missed its projections. This movie is not doing financially very well at all. It's not. No matter how you slice this up, good movie, bad movie, it doesn't matter. It's not doing financially well. It may make $700 million.
It may get its money back.
And that's
no, there's no way at this point.
Getting its money back? I think it's money back.
No, I mean, that's $700 million in a box office internationally. You don't get a lot of that money back as a studio.
Mm-hmm.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, but I still think they can get their money back.
It's a $500 million budget.
Merchandising.
I guess merchandising, sure.
They're going to get their money back.
Okay. Not in the box
There's
office.
so many people projecting that it's going to be a loss, but...
I mean, overall, absolutely. Like,
you're right,
is it going to be a loss in general terms? But I still think they'll make their money back for this movie. It doesn't mean that it's going to be successful or it's going to be something that they want to continue.
Just admit, though, they're not making the money back in the box office.
Probably not.
Okay. I mean, I know what you mean. Mike's right. You're talking about merchandising.
I'm talking about overall, the Justice League movie, because it exists, will make the money back that they put into it, but it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be it wouldn't have been worth it to make it.
It's going to take a long time. It might have to count DVD stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. I guess you're right. But in the box office, it will be seen as a flop, no matter how you slice this. It's not going to make $1 billion, not even close. It's not going to make what Wonder Woman made, not BVS. Not Suicide Squad, not Man of Steel. What did that top out at?
6 something.
7.
It
has a fighting
that,
chance to get there, I think.
Yeah, it might be Man of Steel. I mean, that's the disappointing part about this whole thing, is the numbers it's doing, and you got to wonder if that was an effect of Batman vs Superman.
Man of Steel did 668 worldwide total.
It'll beat that. I think.
You want to bet on it?
It's gonna be that's a close bet. I think it can beat that. I might do that. I might bet on that one. That's
you want to go to see Justice League again?
You think it's got $200 million in the tank?
Somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. I
really where?
I think
not
it'll
America.
Make 700. I think it'll
not
make
China.
But projections are still showing it clears 700. So, I mean,
see how long it's in the theater too. Who knows? BVS was only 12 weeks.
It gets a quiet run here for 3 weeks. Nothing. You know, I mean, it gets a quiet run here. So
again, all these movies that came out around it are surprise hits, though.
Yeah,
like Coco and Wonder.
Coco's not a surprise. It's a Pixar movie.
Fine. Coco's not a surprise, but whatever. Coco, Wonder, and even just a few weeks older.
Orient was disappointing.
Orient was disappointing, but it still did, like 15, 20 million?
That movie was terribly marketed.
Oh, sure. I do want to see it, but I don't know when I'm going to see that. So, but all right, let's see. Let's get into the news here. Talk about Justice League numbers and stuff like that. So we did talk about the Justice League stuff. Let's talk about. Come on, open up. Thank you. What else happened with Justice League on this thing? So Batman. Last week, because we didn't do this in 2 weeks. Sorry, we didn't have a podcast last week. So let's talk about Batman, the solo film now, in jeopardy. Ben Affleck is now rumored to not be on this movie, and Jake Gyllenhaal is taking over, is what I'm hearing.
And
I think that's been
not
debunked.
Even real.
I don't think it's been debunked yet.
Is someone just mentioned, it's like, oh, Jake Gyllenhaal would be cool if they don't do an Affleck, and then the studio's like, no, we don't want him. That's all I've heard about
You
this.
heard that they didn't want him.
Yeah, the one article I saw said that rumor was like the studio does not want Gyllenhaal, but who knows? Maybe he's.
So hold on. What I want to ask you is, because I think we brushed past this real quick, because this has been a hot topic of conversation for years, ever since DC has announced Warner Brothers and DC has announced their plan for Justice League. Are we aside from how you felt personally about the movie, are we in agreement that like the DCEU is on fire at this point and they got to do something about this, or do you think they still go
what
forward
counts as
with
something?
Like reboot or just stop doing it?
No, they can't, because they got Aquaman and Wonder Woman coming up, and also you can look at this as an investment for more profitable movies in the future.
Well, I think you can't stop Aquaman because it's finished.
Right. Right. I'm not talking about movies that we obviously know are done right now. Aquaman is done.
I think it's very much in question.
I think Shazam's going. I think Shazam will be a movie. I think Flashpoint will probably reboot the
I don't know.
If they do a reboot.
Flashpoint may not happen though. Flashpoint was the one that they've talked about as the most up in the air after.
Also, the Suicide. There's going to be another Harley Quinn.
Another
movie.
Suicide Squad.
Sure. But she's in isn't she attached to that Birds of Prey movie or something like that?
Gotham City Sirens, I think.
They've got a lot of threads going forward. I don't see.
That's why I said a Harley Quinn movie. I didn't say Suicide Squad.
They don't have to do
It's going to be a Harley Quinn movie. Because she's going to draw, and you saw how Wonder Woman did. So you're going to get Harley Quinn with Margot Robbie, and I think she's hot right now as far as her star power.
For sure, and they'll like her. Yeah. That's happening. Wonder Woman's definitely happening. And we know Aquaman is. So there's a lot.
Shazam's already got a cast.
There's a lot in this shared universe that they've already invested in too much to sort of just give it up right now.
I don't think that they're going to just reboot it out of nowhere and just end it. I think that they're going to use, like you said podcasts ago, Tony, they're going to use a movie like Flashpoint to do it. But I don't see it being. The only thing I really see happening is them changing Batman. That's. Right now,
that's only because Affleck's going crazy.
No, with that, and also, I mean, Batman does have a history of being replaced after 2 movies, anyway. So,
or even one.
But I mean,
or even one.
Look at
not within the same storyline, though.
Right, but I think they would do it for Joker because Jared Leto. I mean,
I think he's still here, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to get rid of him.
I think Leto's. I think if Harley Quinn's showing up with Margot Robbie, whatever her name's. It's going to be Leto.
It's going to be hard to get rid of him. You can't get rid of Eisenberg, it looks like.
He's still there. Yeah.
So, it's just going to be hard because the parts that did work for them, that they know are sure things, are tied, sometimes tight, sometimes not so tight to the parts that didn't work. So I think they're just going to try. Well, and I think they should persevere and try to make, because part of the reason why these things haven't been so great is there's no history yet. There's no background. And when I saw Justice League, I thought, oh, I'm more excited for the future now because they can build off this finally. There's something to build off of, even if it wasn't perfect the first time around. Now, if they reboot it again, then you go back to the same problem they had before, trying to play catch up, trying to create these histories all at once. And who wants that?
Yeah, I think if you do reboot it, you have to make it a part of the storyline. You can't just do a Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man thing, because people are going to get fatigued out. They don't want another reboot.
I think people are kind of fatigued out already.
Superheroes. As far as the Batman and Superman goes, it seems that way.
Infinity War is going to be huge. It's going to be huge, Mike.
Okay. Even though it's split into 2 movies, all right.
It's not split into 2 movies. It's 3 and 4, and they're actually, as long as they market it properly, we'll see. We're getting our trailer tomorrow, I think. But I'm very excited when they release that. I'm legitimately it's a culmination of this these planning for the last 10 years. I'm so excited.
It's not to me though, because it's really just a Guardians Avengers crossover. We don't get the Netflix people. We're not going to get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You're winning that bet. It's a done deal. They're not in that movie, and that was what made it interesting to me, where I could see all these TV shows and have things that maybe not everyone is seeing and be rewarded for that in a big movie, seeing these interactions. And I know that's not going to happen. I know it's just going to be Guardians Avengers, and I'm like, because it's not the culmination that I was picturing when this all started, and that's my biggest disappointment with the MCU. Really, that's why I've been down on it lately, because that became obvious to me that the promises they set out at first are not going to really come to fruition the way I was hoping they would. But whatever.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about. Let's see. What do we talk about here? We did Justice League. We talked about. Aquaman's releasing next year. Kind of moving into Marvel stuff. There's 8 Marvel movies releasing next year. 8.
Yep.
Did you guys
know
that?
Get tired
not
of
Marvel
that.
Studios, but Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just Marvel.
Well, I mean,
yeah. I'm talking
all the Marvel movies did great this year, so yeah, I don't think people will get tired of that.
It's crazy. I mean, there's we get Black Panther, we get
Deadpool,
the New Mutants, Infinity War, Deadpool, Ant-Man and Wasp is also next summer. I forgot that movie was coming out.
Do you think that does better than the first one?
I don't know. I think it should, Mike, but I don't know. I don't know. That's tight. I don't know, because they haven't done much. The character, I just don't hear.
The Vanity Fair has them both on there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, people I know went to see Civil War that didn't go see Ant-Man. They went and watched Ant-Man. I mean, that's anecdotal, but people seem more interested in that character after Civil War.
Yeah. X-Men Dark Phoenix is also in November, and then we have December 21st, Aquaman. Just so we all know. That's the DC movie. So that's a long ways away for Aquaman. Why is that so far away?
Maybe they have to actually come up with something.
I mean, let's think about that. Why would they take 13 months off to release the next movie in their cinematic universe?
Well, and there's February, April, May, July, October, November. September's open. August.
That Squad did bank in August. They should release in August.
I'm shocked they didn't pick August, because that is wide open right now with nothing.
I mean, aren't we getting a Star Wars movie next December anyway, like a spin-off or something?
Get a Star
We're getting Han Solo.
Solo's in May. Solo's in May.
Oh, is it May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get a Star Wars movie every year for the rest of your life now.
Yeah, we will. Until people get tired of it. So, all right. Let's see.
You got new generation.
Yeah, news came out last week that Jude Law will be cast as Marvel in Captain Marvel movie. He's the original
Ultimate
Captain Marvel.
red shirt.
Yeah, the original Captain Marvel, I guess.
Yeah, that's great.
I like Jude Law. I think he's good. So
He'll be there for what, like a scene, so he can die or something?
probably, or maybe a mentor for a little bit, like a little bit of
Maybe.
an Ant-Man kind of style.
Possibly.
So, let's see. Kevin Feige came out and said that Infinity War, this was the fourth movie actually, Avengers 4, is actually going to be a finale, which is you're not used to ever seeing in these movies. There will legitimately be a finale of the story of these characters.
Avengers 4 is going to be that finale?
Avengers
or
4 is that
3?
film.
Mm-hmm. 4.
4.
Okay.
It's the end of end of phase 3 or whatever it is. Or I guess I thought that was end of phase. I guess it is the end of phase 3. But this will legitimately have a finale for its story.
Wait, Avengers 4 is the end of phase 3?
That's what I'm getting from this. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So.
So,
Or are really one.
So I think that bet we had Jim was talking about the end of
phase.
phase.
Longer? Do you think I care? You know I'm going to win.
I mean, we can extend it to like the end of like the sun burning out at this point. There's no way that Jim's not going to win that bet.
No, I mean, Perlmutter could die between now and next year.
Well, that's what I'm going to talk about here. Like,
Because he's the guy that
Disney
told
might take out their dick and just start swinging around and be like, hey, it's everything in there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that on the
I'm pretty sure getting ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
I still don't see the Avengers / Stark Tower in the skyline in like Punisher. It's not there. They don't even try anymore. And there's lots of skyline shots on that show.
Yeah, they really need to put that in there. I haven't seen Punisher yet, which we got to get into at some point. But yeah, I mean, he came on record saying that there's a lot of stories coming to an end, and that's part. And this is a quote. I took an excerpt from this on this article here. That's partially because the Marvel contracts with actors who play them, Evans, Ruffalo, Downey, Jr., Johansson, Hemsworth, and Renner are all at the end of their contract runs. At the end of.
Don't you wish you didn't know some of this sometimes?
Well, I mean, like it's funny today as I was talking to my physical therapy doctor or whatever they're called, physical therapists, and my therapist, yes. So I was talking to that guy, and I'm talking to he was asking who I thought would die, and I'm like, I think that Ruffalo is actually, I think the Hulk is going to die, believe it or not. Yeah, crazy. You know why? Think about it. Like, you can't kill. I mean, Chris Evans probably as well. But I think the Hulk makes more sense because, like, he's a collaboration hero from another, because they don't own his rights.
They can't do solo Hulk movies.
So he's more of a collaboration guy. He's not his anchor movie guy. You know what I mean? He's not a solo guy.
I know, but he shouldn't be in his solo movies anyway. He's a good buddy, cop buddy.
Bruce Banner dies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I really think that. I think he will. That's my prediction. So. But yeah, I don't know. I
mean, the thing is, I could see like Evans is done. I think Renner is definitely done.
Yeah.
Ruffalo, I think Ruffalo would be okay with it. I don't know if he's said anything officially on his own about if he wanted to continue doing Hulk. Dude seems happy in all these like press junkets and stuff like that. He's just hamming it up and like loving it.
I love how they're now like picking on the fact that they leak things accidentally.
Yeah.
So now like today's leak with the leak of the poster. Yeah. I thought that was fun. They definitely had fun with that at least today.
But I could see Hemsworth extending his contract or renewing or something like that because just Ragnarok really gave his.
I think that
character
brought new life into Thor. I thought that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think it would be cool to see like Thor and the Guardians team up because they could do like galactic stuff, like interplanetary stuff.
Yeah.
Probably Johansson's done with it. I mean, I'm just assuming most of the original Avengers crew is done after 4. Yeah. But that's why I have to have New Blood, and we have Bucky and Falcon.
And Cumberbatch taking over Stark's role.
I don't like the guy who plays Bucky.
Rich dude. I like that guy. I think
what's wrong with
Winter Soldier's awesome.
What's wrong with Winter Soldier?
He just seems like an awkward dude. That guy. I don't know. I couldn't see him like being like a normal heroic character.
Just to backtrack real quick, if Justice League does not break 700 million, it will not beat Doctor Strange in the worldwide box office.
Oh, there's a lot of movies it's not beating. A lot.
So I thought that was a terrible stat to own. But
I remember a couple weeks ago. I thought it was
going to be had to get $1 billion.
Doesn't make $1 billion.
Yeah, had to get $1 billion.
No, I told you. I said I was the lowest on you guys. I'm like, it's 800 is like what I thought it would do. I said 800.
Obviously, I had faith.
You were going high. Anyways, back to
listen.
Marvel.
I didn't expect this universe gets like trashed for a year, and then everyone hates Ben Affleck right before it comes out. It had a lot of like negativity going into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is anybody else
It was
getting
destined to fail.
Is anybody else getting really psyched for Star Wars? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like so excited for this.
I'm afraid.
I've been like, avoiding so much stuff. Like it hasn't really been top of mind, so I have not seen like hardly
Like,
anything.
I'm worried about it.
avoiding everything I can, Corey. Obviously, I'm running out of rooms when commercials come on. Like, I took a trip to Vermont over the weekend, and it was on the TV. And I'm like, oh my! I like covered my eyes, and it was crazy. I was like all over that, staying away from things. And
I've only
so
seen
badly
two
being
things.
advertised.
Pictures.
I can't even watch. You can't watch the Disney Channel. You can't watch it. Like it's every break.
I don't have the
commercial
Disney
break.
Channel, so
But
works for me.
I'm starting to feel a little worried about it. Like with all these movies announced now this new trilogy, and I'm just worried I'm not going to like the direction it's going. Because when I think about what I liked about the last one, it's Han Solo, and I'm not sold on these new characters yet. And
I really like Rey. I think she's a great character.
I think all the
great
characters are
character.
great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I think Rey's a great character.
Captain Phasma's not great. I don't know about
No.
Oh, okay.
Not a
I,
character.
I was talking about like the main crew. I was.
I'm not sold on Finn yet. I think Finn's. I want to see what he's going to do in this movie.
We'll see how Kylo Ren is in this movie. I think he needs to
see, I
be...
didn't like him.
Less-
I don't
That's what I
like
mean,
all
we have
these
to
new
see,
characters.
yeah.
I really
I
didn't.
just- all I said-
General
all I
Hux
mentioned
was
was
a lot
I
more
really
interesting than Kylo Ren.
And I just
all I
kind of
mentioned
feel
was I
like
really
this
liked Rey.
trilogy will probably systematically eliminate all the old characters, and
Well,
if that's
no.
what it's going to be, then I'm like,
I hope not.
I might be done with it.
I hope not. I really.
My hope is that it's not as kiddie as like these. Like I understand the Star Wars films are, for kids really, but I'm really hoping it's going to be towards the later teenage.
I'm not
Oh yeah,
sure.
it looks so dark. Everything about the marketing material is
I don't know.
black and red.
We
It's
don't
black and
know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, you haven't seen any of the toys or anything like that. You haven't seen any of the posters.
I've seen it. I've seen
posters. I mean, I see the picture of Rey all the time on the posters and the
Right, like
that's it.
everything looks dark. Like
And
shit.
I'm hoping,
Yeah.
like
I've
I'm
seen
excited
Rey
for Ryan
twirling a
Johnson.
lightsaber.
So.
I've seen Rey twirling a lightsaber. That's all I've seen because
I've
I
not
couldn't
seen
turn that off
anything.
fast enough. Anyways, we can talk about that during Star Wars week. We'll go over our thoughts of coming up on the movie.
Avengers, May the 4th is coming out.
Oh yeah, May
May
4th.
4th. Be with you. The Avengers.
Let's get into what I've been up to though for the last 2 weeks. Like I said, we went and saw Justice League. We have a whole spoiler cast on that if you didn't know. So go ahead and listen to spoiler cast if you've seen the movie. Just real quick, guys, your thoughts for those who haven't seen it and are wondering what we thought.
I'll go. I mean, I liked it. On the spoiler cast, we do talk a lot of negative stuff, but I still like it. I think it's the most watchable DC movie that's in this universe. I would watch it over all the other ones, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, BVS. But I was disappointed in Batman.
Yeah. Mike?
I really liked it actually, but it's frustrating that I liked it, and it could have been a lot better if there wasn't interference from the studio. But the villain is real. Don't ever go into this movie expecting a good villain because it's Saturday morning cartoon level villain.
Yeah.
But I
CG
like the
needs a lot of
characters.
It's
work.
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle level villain.
I thought the characters were done justice finally. So I like
see what
that.
you did
Pun
there.
intended.
See what you did there. Tony?
Yeah, it's bad. Don't see it. If you haven't seen it already, don't see it.
Yeah,
You haven't seen it already? See it 3 times in IMAX.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
I think it's worth watching. Like
I would say
No,
it's-
I
We'll have to
think
see
if
the
you have
theater,
any
but
interest in
worth
DC
watching.
characters, you should see the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say it's still a
the
fun
Justice
movie, and it's a fun movie to go see. Even if now it's going to probably find like discounted showings of it, so go ahead check it out.
You don't have to see it in the theater, but I think you should see it.
Go with your
I'd
wallet.
take a
Don't
watch.
see it.
Go with your wallet, see it so you can get more and give them a chance to improve this universe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 6 for 6. Are you behind that campaign, Mike?
I don't know what that is.
There's this stupid social media campaign where it's like, these heroes have been here for us, so we need to be here for him. So bring 5 of your friends and go see the movie 6 times. Like, what the fuck? So
What
dumb.
is this?
There's this social media campaign called 6 for the 6, and they're encouraging people to go find 5 of their friends, so 6
Oh, for
people total.
Justice League? Because
Yeah,
there's
to
6
go
of them?
Yeah, to go see Justice League 6 times to show, Warner Brothers that that people love these characters. And I'm like, yeah, if you love these characters, hope for better. And that's what I say to you guys too. Like, that's fine. I get you guys all like the stuff that you're getting, but ask for more, ask for better. Like, clearly it's not working for the general populace, the general population of the entire world. Ask for better.
The general population of the entire world.
Yeah.
If in general, if you want to be super general, it still did decent for a movie. If you want to be that general, it did decently for a movie. So that's
not for its budget.
pretty
Not good enough. Not relation to its budget.
But
it had a $300 million budget, Mike, and it's barely going to get. We're debating if it's going to hit $700 million. That's terrible.
Okay. Fine.
That's
That's
like
6 for 6.
That's like, it was a tough
Vote
bet
with
to
your
take.
wallet that way.
World.
You say vote for your wallet, they're voting for their wallets. With their wallets. There you go.
Right, they are.
So good for them.
All right. Getting to more than what we've been up to, what we've been watching, guys. Mike, what have you been watching?
Aside from Justice League, I started Punisher. The first episode, I really did not like at all.
I'm the opposite. I liked it.
Yeah, but Corey got to watch it.
I found it very boring, but the second and third I did watch, and it picked up to me. There's finally something that makes it's more of a spy type thing than I expected, and but it definitely picked up. There's a little. I mean, I'm still not like on the edge of my seat, like ready to like watch all of it at once. I don't think I'm gonna see this all in a week. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but it's okay. It's good. It's definitely very like military, like intrigue. Like you got to get into all of that to really
political
like this thing.
stuff
Yeah,
going on.
I'll check it out. I mean, I just haven't. I've been traveling, so I haven't had time.
I've been finding it much more interesting than everything that's come out recently, as far as Defenders, Iron Fist, Luke Cage.
Good.
Way more interesting than those stuff.
Okay. I mean, John Bernthal has done a great job with the character from what from Daredevil. So I hope he's good with this one. But
if you want to talk watchability,
it's not. It's not. The watchability is very low. Very low.
Okay.
Because there is like that whole Jessica Jones thing where this character is fucked up in the head. Like there's some issues that this guy's got, and he's got to deal with them. So like they do focus on that a little bit, especially in the first episode, because they're kind of reorienting you with the character and like where he was when we last saw him. And that's come up a lot in this, and the whole PTSD stuff is a big part of this show, I think.
Okay. Mike, anything else you've been watching, or?
That's it.
All right, Corey, anything more?
Not too much other than that.
Tony?
I watched this anime movie called Kimi no Nawa, or Your Name in English. I forget
the live action Hollywood.
Yeah. They just announced it's doing a live action American adaptation, which will be interesting to see how they butcher that, because there's just so much that's culturally relevant to Japan, and I don't have faith that they can adapt that to an American mindset at all. But this movie was awesome. Definitely one of those thought-provoking movies that just like makes you think about stuff and gets you emotional, because the director who does it kind of is known for that, where like
pulls on the heartstrings.
Right. But the thing is, he's known for like sometimes it'll be like like bad heart tugs, and then other times it's like good heart tugs. So at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, this could go one of two ways, and it's like equally likely. So you're just like, it's kind of intense, and you're just like, what's gonna happen here? It's the basis of the movie is interesting, where it's a body swap, like I don't know, like what is it, Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan or whatever like that, where she swaps body with. So it's kind of like that, where you have this rural Japanese girl who is unhappy with her life, and she wants to like be a city girl and that stuff, and you have this like Japanese city kid, and they swap bodies, and there's like weird hijinks with like oh, I'm in a girl's body, and she's in a boy's body and stuff like that. But the story has like some twist and turn, and it winds up being more than you think just based on the premise. But really awesome. The animation alone, I would say, is worth just watching. It's one of those things that Jim, I know I always give you shit about like HDR and 4K and all that shit, but like this is one of those movies I'm like, yeah, I would like to see this in like the highest quality I could possibly get it.
Yeah.
Because the animation is just that good. But yeah, other than that, I read the newest chapters in My Hero Academia. Shit's getting real. I know they announced the third season.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, season 3. And I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be so long until we get to like these parts in the manga, but I'm okay with it. So, yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Yeah, I watched Coco, so I got to see Coco. Man, Pixar really did a great job with that movie.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I didn't like Cars 3 this year, which I realized was this year when we were talking about it in Discord. I really did not like the way Cars 3 story. It was fine.
A little too close to home. Is that what it was, Jim?
Yeah, the aging. Oh man, I just didn't like that. But this movie was like, how do you make a movie, a kids movie about death? Like, they did it, and it's quite remarkable.
I mean, that kind of like that was their thing, right? Ratatouille. You make a movie about a rat that cooks. Like,
yeah,
who wants to see that? And then they make a movie where there's a robot that doesn't talk. That freaking was amazing. Like they have these huge hits like that, but then some of them just
missing. You know, I mean, they've been missing a lot. When I went over their list, it's stuff that, well, maybe not missing, but stuff that just wasn't as interesting to me as their previous stuff. Like Ratatouille, I loved, but like since then, I felt like they've been not as good as they have been. Obviously, like Brave never really hit for me. Inside Out, I didn't even watch.
That was amazing.
I heard it was good, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say if it's good or not.
I thought it was really good.
But yeah, so I was happy to go and see this and actually enjoy it. And it's like it has the perfect blend of kids movie with adult interest. Like you can actually enjoy it as an adult, and it's got enough of that mix. Yeah, it's a movie about music and the Day of the Dead, basically. And I really, really enjoyed the movie and would recommend seeing it. And it has like, don't worry about like, it's got some good, powerful, emotional sequences. I think I got like choked up like once. No full-on tears for me though, but it was like there was a couple of good emotional sequences. There was like cool little plot twists and stuff like that mixed in. It was cool. I liked it, and the music is great. It's amazing they did a piece like it was like a different culture. So it's like, you don't get the Mexican culture that they had in that movie. It was great to see that they did something like this. And I think it's doing amazing in Mexico. It should be. It better be. I mean, this is like amazing movie. I just thought it was awesome. And it's great for us. I mean, for me, like who doesn't know much about the Mexican culture, it was cool to see this. And it's like almost educational about the actual Day of the Dead and what that is. So I really enjoyed it. And the animation's obviously excellent. It's Pixar. But, so... But I mean, really.
Well, I did want to.
Go
ahead.
My
I was going to mention something.
Their movies weren't like as strong as like WALL-E and Up and stuff like that. Like that was like, and Ratatouille, that was like a run that I was like, oh, there we go. I mean, that like I just haven't felt that from them in a while. So, but go on. What were you going to say?
No, I just wanted to mention I did finish the third book in the Stormlight Archive.
Hey.
And that's so good. Like that guy really knows how to like build something up and then. The payoffs,
paid off.
Are so good. So, like, it gets me emotional too with some of this stuff. And like, you're reading it, and there's like these side characters that pop up with some POV chapters, and you're like, who are these guys? And then it comes back later, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Cool. But I definitely highly recommend the Stormlight Archive
I have to
series.
Get that book actually. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in, listeners and viewers. Write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter at allycangeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tune into the the Gamecast coming up, and also we have a spoiler cast this week on Justice League. So if you've seen the movie, don't forget to tune into that. And tune in next week. Thanks.